I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that achieving your goals isn't about hard work alone. The good news is that achieving your goals comes down to breaking a pattern. As humans, we'll do anything we can to not face our fears. Anything not to send that risky text. Anything but pitch ourselves to that company. Anything but start our business. Anything but put ourselves out there. And this is a problem because it took me 24 years to realize avoidance doesn't protect you from pain, it just postpones it. I can't even count the amount of things that I've avoided, I've worked my way around, I've hoped that they would end, and eventually they just come back even more than the first time around. That's why in this video, I'm breaking down 5 simple steps to highlight your avoidance behaviors and help you cut them out for good. Because avoidance behaviors, more importantly, your avoidance behaviors, are holding you back from achieving your goals. Once they've been identified and you work towards eliminating them, you can achieve your goals twice as fast with half the effort. So if you're ready to stop running away from fear and start facing it head on, then keep on watching. Hey, if you're new, welcome to the cozy corner of the internet. I'm your host, Christina, and I help people stop shrinking and start living. The other day I was on a walk and it kind of hit me that if you want to achieve your biggest dream and you also have a big fear, they're kind of locked behind the same door. Let me explain. So say you have a huge goal to achieve a career as a, content creator. You want to start a business. This is your goal. Maybe you've got like a nice camera. Excuse my terrible drawing. This is locked behind a door. You got a handle, you have to walk up to the door, open the handle. You have to work towards getting to the door. Maybe you have to climb a mountain, swim through an ocean to get to the door, but you eventually get to the door. However, it's not like you can just find yourself as a business owner or find yourself as a content creator. You also have to face your biggest fear. And maybe that to you is like a fear of judgment, or maybe that's a fear of being seen. It's kind of like these things, your fear of being judged or your fear of people making fun of you, your fear of looking stupid, these are all like weeds and nettles blocking the door to get you to your biggest dream. And it goes beyond just careers as well. Say your biggest, a really big desire you have is to one day be in a healthy, happy relationship that's supportive and kind and, all the great things. You wouldn't be alone in wanting to achieve that as a goal. However, that's behind the door. You want to have this amazing, happy relationship. Chances are behind that door as well is also like a fear of rejection or a fear of being hurt, a fear of opening up and having all your feelings just thrown on the floor, discarded, not acknowledged. The biggest, most amazing things that you want to achieve, on that flip side of the coin, there is a fear that you almost have to overcome to achieve the goal. Like I was saying, avoidance comes in careers and business and all the things, but also relationships. It looks like maybe things are actually going well on a date and actually you kind of ghost afterwards. You kind of want to self-sabotage because you don't know how to handle things actually going well. Or it shows up in your organization. Or you need to send a really important text. You need to tell this person the truth, but you redraft it, type it up, change the wording like 15 different times and you never even send it. Maybe you're going through a rough time and people ask you, how are you doing? Like, I just want to check in on you. But you keep saying, I'm fine, I'm okay. You keep avoiding telling the truth because you're too afraid to have that hard conversation. I genuinely find human behavior so fascinating. So when I was diving into the psychology behind avoidance, essentially, our brains are hardwired in a way where it doesn't really give a heck if we're successful. It doesn't really give a heck if we get closer to our goals. It doesn't even care as much about getting us what we want. Our brains are hardwired to keep us safe. So if you have a huge desire, that's on a coin. Like I was saying earlier, you've got desire on one side and fear on the other side. No matter how badly you want this dream job, you want this business, you want this relationship, if your fear on the flip side of rejection is so strong, you're going to struggle to achieve your goal. Or if your fear of being hurt in a relationship is so strong, you're actually going to struggle to be in a healthy relationship. If your fear of being judged online is so strong, you're going to struggle to be a content creator. If your fear of being attacked is so strong, you're never going to send that text that you need to. And recently, I was actually talking about this in my recent newsletter. I went on a date last week that went really, really well. It was genuinely the best date I think I've ever been on. We didn't even do anything crazy. We went for food and that was it. But the vibes were there. Like, they were really, really funny. I was laughing the whole time. They were laughing at my jokes. They looked better than their pictures. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw him in real life. He was so gentlemanly, like all the things, genuinely green flag after green flag. And I was talking about in my newsletter, I'll put a link below to sign up to the newsletter. I was talking about how I was scared after the date, even though it went well. I then started to panic because I was like, oh my God, it actually went well. Like he actually seems like secure attachment, healthy love languages. Like he seemed like a green flag. And I was like, oh my God, what if it goes wrong? And essentially it kind of got me thinking, and it partly inspired this video. Sometimes say you have a goal that's so big, and even though you really, really want this goal, like maybe you've got a goal in mind right now, even though you badly want this goal, there's also a big part of you internally that doesn't want to achieve this goal because you're so afraid of fumbling it when you do actually receive it. This is the part of myself that I kind of faced last week when I went on the really good date and then I started to panic afterwards. That doesn't make sense as a sentence. I went on a really good date and I started to panic. It doesn't make sense, does it? But essentially, this is the psychology behind self-sabotage, or this is the psychology behind avoidance. A lot of us have like an upper limit of this is how much joy I can comfortably experience before I start to panic and self-sabotage. And like your whole life is this, you know, you have good times, you have bad times, you know, best moment of your life is like up here and then worst moments down here. You have an upper limit. The moment things start to like exceed that is where you'll start to see self-sabotage. And the reason this is because when I've done some digging online, I've essentially found that desire shows you what you want, but fear reminds you of the potential pain triggered by what you want. Desire shows you what you want, like you want a healthy relationship, you want a nice career, but fear reminds you of the potential pain surrounding that dream job or surrounding that relationship. I thought this was so interesting because I feel like, especially in this time in the new year, it's so easy to think about, oh, I want this, let me set this goal, and 2026, all these tips. But on the flip side of every desire is a fear. I don't know about you guys, but I also find myself sometimes tapping into this when it's like, if I don't try, then I won't flop. Like if I don't try the thing, then I'm not going to do it badly. If I don't try, then I won't fail. There's almost an avoidance of the work completely. Like if I avoid the work, I'm not going to avoid failure. And again, like your biggest dream of winning the thing is locked behind the same door of failing at the thing. And the only way you can win the thing is if you potentially fail at it. In psychology, this is sometimes called safety behaviors. So you keep yourself safe by, if I don't try, I don't fail. If I don't ask her out, I won't get rejected. And you can essentially find yourself in a bit of like a comfort trap. You might feel the discomfort of maybe like, oh, I need to ask this person out. And you kind of avoid that. I'm not going to ask her out. I'm not going to ask him out. I'm not going to make the first move. Feel relief temporarily. But then the next time it comes up, you kind of feel that guilt of, I didn't ask them out last time. And as you start to feel guilty, you just avoid it even more. And you go through this vicious cycle of just the comfort trap. And I know you might be like, oh, Christina, this is all fun and good, but what are the tips? What do I do? Like, tell me what to do. How do I fix? Sometimes there are things in your life, mindset, setbacks, bad limiting beliefs, where genuinely there's actually nothing for you to do and fix. It's just an awareness of it that helps a lot. If you are looking for something to do, I've actually made a workbook around this topic, around the topic of just avoiding your problems and actually just prolonging them or overworking to compensate for the fact that you avoid. It's called Superhuman Habits. This is one of my newest workbooks. If you're someone with incredibly big hopes and dreams that you really want to achieve, you're desperate to retrieve them, no other goal setting, vision board, manifesting has helped you get there, and you really genuinely are looking for something different, I would say try this workbook. It's designed using neuroscience and psychology to help you unlock what these avoidant behaviors that you are doing, because you might not be aware of them. They might be in a blind spot. You don't even know that they're there. This will help you identify them and then replace them with superhuman habits, better habits that stop you avoiding and start actually facing the fear. Like I say with all the workbooks, they're completely for free. I make them for myself, genuinely to help myself through some things. And so putting the workbook together was super helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for you guys too. With avoidance as well, it can be a slippery slope, because often I find myself when I'm avoiding talking to someone or avoiding sending a text, you sometimes like shrink yourself. I call this like emotional shrinking. Like avoidance isn't just a matter of feeling more comfortable or, avoiding guilt. It literally rewires who you are as a person. Like over time, when you're the sort of person that keeps avoiding hard things, avoiding, doing challenging things, you almost lose faith in yourself a little bit. Your self-belief of I can do this, I can achieve this, dwindles. Like you actually don't believe you can achieve things because you don't achieve things. It's a very vicious cycle. Ultimately, the bottom line of what you need to do is you need to face the fear. You do need to send the text or upload the video or Be honest with the person in the conversation. That is the bottom line. Either way, the sense of satisfaction and relief you get when you do achieve things like this and you do send text messages, trust me, you feel superhuman. That's why I called it Superhuman Habits. The last couple of months to weeks for me have been like crazy busy at work. As a doctor, I had my end of year review. They kind of look at your portfolio. What have you done? Have you measured up? Are you good enough to pass and progress on to the next year? That did not go to plan. Throughout the whole year, have been working super hard to make sure my portfolio is up to scratch. But when they sat down and had the meeting, they were like, you're missing this, you're missing this, you're missing this. And it genuinely like knocked my confidence so much. Like it actually crushed me because I was like, but I think about this. I work for like all year I've been thinking about this and I've tried and I've gone above and beyond. In reality, what's happened is I've gone above and beyond on like one side of my portfolio, then the other side is like lacking. So I've kind of neglected one side. It's a learning curve that I'm glad I know now. But I say all that to say that they gave me a list of 4 things I need to do. And when I looked at the things, it involves me having to go ask quite a lot of people, like, can you sign me off for this? Can you do, like, I'm going to have to go ask a lot of people a lot of questions. And thankfully, because of the groundwork I've done in the past of doing challenging things, getting myself to have hard conversations, telling the truth to people, having tough conversations and being honest. When I saw this list of what I had to do, this isn't that hard. I can do this. And the only reason why I'm like optimistic about this huge setback is because I've almost laid the groundwork to believe in myself now. Like if this happened to Christina a couple of years ago, I would have probably had a meltdown. How am I going to speak to this many people in 4 weeks? Because that's my deadline, 4 weeks from now. How am I going to be able to do all of this? And thankfully, 3 out of 4 of the things are already done. I have one last one, and that's just an email I need to send. And I'll probably send that email on Monday. So I'm kind of closing the loop on this chapter. The reason I'm saying this is because each time you find yourself about to avoid something, you're not going to have a tough conversation. You're not about to go up to someone. You're not about to send a text. This isn't just for this moment in time. There is so much more riding on this moment than just, will the girl say yes to me? Or will my boss be annoyed at me for this? There are going to be so many moments in the future where you're going to be so thankful that you did do that in the past because you're going to feel more confident in the future. It's almost like training at the gym. Like you're literally training and doing the reps to build stronger muscles, and in future it's going to pay off. Like you're going to have really strong muscles in the future. Breaking the cycle doesn't have to be scary. Like I don't want you to leave this video thinking, gosh, I have to become fearless and face my fears. Like fears are in the same room as my biggest dream. The goal isn't to be fearless. The goal is more to be like fear indifferent. Like something scary, something genuinely for me could come up that's scary, and I'm kind of like yeah, like so what? Fear isn't bigger than I am now. Like I feel just as big as fear, if not bigger. Back in the day when I would give in to fear and I would be presented with a moment that was scary, I would panic, I would run away, I would avoid. It would feel like fear had all this power because I actually gave it power. I was always running away from it. I was always saying, I can't do this. I can't send that email. I can't send the text. Whereas now, I know I can. I've done my muscle training. I've strengthened my armor and I know I can do it. And, in the new year, 2026, I've set some goals for myself. For this channel, a couple of you guys have also asked me to do some in-person meetups. I would actually love to do that. It's very scary. Like, I think about the thought of doing a meetup in person and I'm like, oh my God, like, am I qualified for that? Is my channel big enough for that? What if, like, no one turns up? What if no one wants to come? What if my channel falls off before the meetup? Like, usual spiral negative stuff. Like, my mind goes all kinds of places, but it's in my 2026 list of goals to do a few meetups. I'd love to do multiple meetups in 2026. So guys, call me out if, June rolls around. I've not done a meetup because I would actually love to do one. But that's something scary for me that I've got coming up. I could easily avoid it and be like, oh, I'm not going to ignore that comment that someone said that they would like a meetup. Or I'm going to ignore the email where someone suggested that I do a meetup. I could avoid, but I don't want to and I don't have to. I've proven to myself I can do scary things. I can face my fear and I can survive. Like, I'm not going to die if I do a meetup and no one turns up. That's the worst case scenario. I do the meetup. Hey guys, come to a coffee shop with me. Let's all hang out. And then like no one comes, but like I'll be fine. I'll actually be fine. I'd be sad, but I'd be fine. I've actually started thinking about this differently as well. Ever since I read The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest, she says a lot of the reason why we kind of back away from fear and we have like a panic attack and we just think, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever, is because when you think about something scary that's about to happen, there's kind of like the anticipation of it, it's going to happen. Then there's the climax of, oh my God, this is the thing, it's scary, I'm so terrified. That's the climax. Then there's the resolution where it kind of comes down. Your presentation is finished. you've answered the questions, you sit back down at your seat and like it's all over. That's the resolution. When you avoid, you only ever think about the anticipation and the climax. Like you're so terrified of doing your presentation because you think you're going to sweat your absolute, like all your makeup off, and you think your armpit patches are going to be the size of like Australia. Like you think you literally can't handle the climax, so you just like panic. I'm not going to do the presentation, I'm going to ring in sick. Whereas people that are more confident, that can do the presentation, don't really care, they actually imagine anticipation, climax, and the resolution. They can see the whole cycle through. They know that if they do the presentation, if they ask, you know, an attractive girl out at a bar, if they make the first move with a guy at a bar, they know that it's not going to stop at the climax. They can imagine the resolution and they know they'll be fine. And that's kind of how I'm imagining my meet and greet when I do it. When I do it in 2026, I'm like, I can imagine the anticipation, I can imagine the climax, and I can imagine the resolution. It'll be fine. I can imagine myself going home on the train, you know, oh, that was a nice meetup, that was a fun meetup, it was great. You know, I can imagine the whole cycle now. Please don't use this as an excuse to like put pressure on yourself to do hard things and go 0 to 100. I would be over the moon if you take from this video that I just need to go from 0 to 1. I just need to go from someone who never ever speaks up and tells the truth in a meeting to someone who suggests something in a meeting. Regardless of what your goals are, I know you probably have maybe a big gap in your mind between where you are and where you want to be. Trust me, you're a lot closer than what you think. I wish people knew this. Like, there's almost a bit of a Goldilocks theory as to, sure, you could be more, and, you know, in the past you were less, but actually you are very much where you need to be and you're very much in the sweet spot. I wish more people knew this, but this is something that I deep dive and talk about more in this video. So if you're looking for something to watch next, it should definitely be this.